What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Bible study for everyone. Today is day number 18, and so we are in Matthew chapter 18. And once again, I'm Matt, and I'm going to be your facilitator today. So, Matthew chapter 18 starts with a question from the disciples. And the question is, who is the greatest in heaven? And Jesus immediately responds. In verse 3 and 4, he says, "Truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." So there you have it, humility. And what is humility, you ask? I had a pastor once tell me this, and it really stuck. It's not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. So I want to test you guys today. Are you truly thinking about yourself less? Or is that the number one thing in your mind is yourself and your day and your mood? Today's word is going to be humility. We see it here opening up the chapter, and we'll see other examples of humility as we move on. But I just want us to really think about this. I mean, you can say, "Oh, I'm humble. Oh, when someone asks me if I'm good at something, I say no." No, that's thinking less of yourself. But when something doesn't go your way, are you constantly feeling sorry for yourself? Or are you humble enough to accept it and move on? Once we finish up on humility and who's the greatest in heaven, Jesus continues to teach. And he speaks on some very important topics. The first one is sin and the temptation to sin. And he basically says that we need to get rid of unrepentant sin. In verse 8, he says a very graphic statement. He says, "If your hand or your foot causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away." This is just an example of if you have some unrepented sin in you, you need to get rid of it because it's going to grieve the Holy Spirit. It's not going to allow you to walk in the way that Jesus would have you. Is there anything in your life that you need to ask for forgiveness for? That you need to open up to God and say, "Lord, forgive me," and begin moving away from it? It's one thing to say, "I'm sorry, please forgive me," and then do it tomorrow. It's another thing to say, "I'm sorry, please forgive me," and stop. I'll be honest, there's been a few things in my life that I really struggled to get rid of. It took me years, but I finally made the change. And by doing that, my life and my relationship with God has grown so dramatically. And I want you guys to experience it too. So then Jesus continues on, and he tells us a very famous story of the lost sheep. And the whole point of this story is that we are all important as children of God. It doesn't matter if 99 of us are saved and one person isn't. God is still wanting that one lost person to come to him. And so we need to have that heart as well. If we have the Holy Spirit inside of us and we have the heart of God, we need to continue praying. We need to continue pursuing. And that can look different depending on the situation. So I'm not telling you need to go talk to that person and scream your head off in front of them. But I am saying we need to continue to pray. Jesus then spends the rest of the chapter talking about forgiveness. And this is why humility is the word of the day. It's because I find that in order to be truly forgiving, you need to be humble. There's some situations where your pride makes it very difficult to say, "It's okay, I forgive you." But you need to be humble, you need to forgive. And Jesus says something really dramatic at the end of the chapter. He tells a story about a master who forgives a servant. And then the servant goes and doesn't forgive someone who had wronged him. The master finds out, and what does he do? He puts the servant that he initially had forgiven in jail. And Jesus compares this to our relationship with God the Father. And the point here is that God is a very gracious and forgiving God. But if we can't find it in ourselves to forgive others, then God the Father is going to have a challenge forgiving us. Is there anyone that you need to forgive? Whether it be someone just recently or someone you've been holding a grudge against your whole life. Let's think about that today. Humility, sin, and forgiveness. All of these can be wrapped into being too proud and not humble. Challenge yourself, test yourself. Have a conversation if you need to have one. And we'll talk next time. See you guys.